In my last video, Crossroads of Life, I mentioned about going with the flow. It's sometimes difficult to go through life that way, having that confidence that if you go with the flow, go with your heart, follow your inner connections with your environments and the people in your life, you find that you build confidence by just allowing yourself to go with the flow of life. We have no control over many things in our life. We try to control them, but a lot of times we're frustrated because it doesn't go our way. In my last video, Crossroads of Life, I elaborated on my plans to go down to Virginia and meet a gentleman from South Florida. He was scheduled for Saturday at 2 o'clock to purchase my trailer. So I got down there late Wednesday night, and my brother-in-law and I met, and we went for dinner. Upon my return to his house late at night, I looked at my text, and the gentleman from South Florida informed me that an unfortunate situation has happened in his life, and he will not be able to meet me as scheduled. And he was not going to purchase my trailer. So my human reaction to that would be easy to say, are you kidding me? I would, feeling frustrated and maybe angry that I came all the way down to make this sale, over 400 miles. And at the last minute, he decides he can't do it. But I took a deep breath, and then I realized that things happen. Things happen for a reason. I believe that. And I can't be angry with the fella because he probably met the crossroads in his life and probably determined a new direction. And, I prayed that the next person who has my trailer enjoys it and has longevity with the adventures that a vehicle like that could provide. Some comforts, but adventures. And that's what the trailer is for. And, when I put the ad in the Facebook for teardrop owners, I knew I had to connect to like-minded people, just like I'm connecting with you and others on my channel. It occurred to me that in order to sell the trailer, I would need to be with people who have the same outlook on life, to be outdoors in nature and to explore and have adventures in the trailer. So I did, and I had a number of people who were very interested. But to honor each one, first come, first serve. So the first gentleman was from Washington, and he wanted to meet me in Grand Junction. And I said, that'd be fine. My sister lives in Grand Junction. I would make it a trip to see my sister, and at the same time be able to sell my trailer. Now that's over 2,300 miles, but I thought that would be a good plan. But the next day he informed me that he was a year away from retirement and it wasn't going to work for him. So I said, that's fine. Good luck with your retirement. I just went through retirement, and that's another journey of an adventure. The second person was the fella from South Florida. But as soon as he locked in with, he gave me a down payment, a significant down payment. This woman from South Carolina said that she wanted to buy my trailer. And I informed her that she would be next in line. But I did receive a deposit, and it seems like it's going to be a sale. I'm sure she was disappointed because she also said this is the trailer that she wanted. But she was so nice. She wished me well. She knew the reasons why I was selling my trailer, and what she wrote to me really touched my heart. I said, this is a person who is I think, spiritual and a very loving individual, caring. And I said to my wife, I said, wow, but I have to honor the fella from South Florida because he's next. But I would really love to sell to this woman because I feel there was a connection there. But I stayed with my plan. So when I was informed by this fella, the gentleman, I took a deep breath and I wrote back to him and I said, pretty much, I hope things go well for you, whatever challenges you have in your life. I hope it works out for you. And with this situation, I hope it works out for me. And I let it go. I wasn't going to be angry. I was going to be upset or try to change his mind. That's not going with the flow. And this is what the video is about, going with the flow of what transpires in your life. We have all plans. We want things to happen perfectly, and sometimes we are disappointed. But there's a reason for that, and I found out in many of my experiences that things are meant to be a certain way, and you can't control them. Yes, we could be disappointed. You know, as a human being, there's so many disappointments. Things don't go as planned. It's easy to have emotions of frustration and anger, you know, and you have to kind of put yourself in the other person's perspective, you know, just like our own. Things happen, and we don't know why, and it's really tough. So I wished him well, and then I said, well, next is the woman from South Carolina. This is the woman that I feel like I have a connection with. I'll text her and just let her know that the deal fell through and she's next. So I was very surprised that I slept well that night because I let it go. And I said, whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and things happen for a reason. I really believe that, and I even believe more so now as I tell you this story. In the morning, I woke up, and late morning, she informed me that she still wanted to buy the van. I mean, I keep saying van because I had a van before, the trailer. And I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. And that was it. She sent me an address of her bank in Williamsburg, Virginia. She was going to come all the way from South Carolina to make the purchase in Williamsburg, which is only a town away. I was in Jamestown, Virginia with my brother-in-law. So I told my brother-in-law this, and he said, okay, when? She informed me that she would be there Monday. So I spent the next 4.5 days with my brother-in-law, enjoying his company, and hopefully he was enjoying my company. And we went all over the area where he lives, beautiful Williamsburg, Virginia, Jamestown, Virginia, the historical area of the United States. So I'm down there enjoying my somewhat vacation with my brother-in-law, and Monday came along. I was nervous. I was hoping that everything would go well. I really felt that this was meant to be. So I just went with the flow, and we met this wonderful woman and her husband. What a wonderful couple. They were perfect. They were so grateful, friendly, warm, and I would have to say that she was a very spiritual individual, and she even asked me if I was spiritual, and I said, yes, I am. And she smiled, and she told us about her family and what her life is like, and so did her husband. And we went through the process, and it went so smooth. There could have been some complications, but my brother-in-law knew the manager of the bank. The manager came out and said, I'll take care of everything for you. You know, if anyone has sold property before, you know it's a tedious process. It could be nerve-wracking, But I sat there and I felt confident that this was going to go through, with my brother-in-law there and the couple who were so easygoing, and it seemed like they were going with the flow too. So this video is about going with the flow in your life, allowing things to unfold before you, not trying to control every aspect of what's transpiring, and to have faith that everything's going to be fine and it's the way it should be. So I know it might be a little bit out there for some of you, but I'm hoping that many of you had this experience, or possibly are trying to live life this way, trying to accept what we cannot control, and to know and have confidence that the best is going to happen if your intentions are good and you connect to people, like-minded people like you and me, that have the same interest and the same heart and the same outlook on life. It's amazing how life becomes a lot simpler, smoother, and less frustrating. I believe that living this life, spiritual beings living a human experience, as we go along with other experiences like this, it just makes your belief stronger that you have to have confidence in the good, that there's bad in the world, there's people that perhaps we shouldn't trust, but we give most people the benefit of the doubt. And you have to go with your gut feeling. I think you pick up positive vibrations, and you need to accept those positive and negative vibrations and act on them. And I received a positive vibration, a positive feeling about meeting talking to this woman, connecting with her prior to selling the trailer to her. And I really believe that was meant to be. And when I told my wife what has happened, she just smiled. And because she's heard me talk this way before. And I'm just delighted, and I'm so very, very happy for the couple. They informed me last night that they were going to enjoy the trailer in their backyard. They were probably around my age, maybe a little younger, and they were like children, excited about their new trailer. This is a vehicle that's going to allow them to create new memories in life. And that's what I love. You always have to look forward to, of all the possibilities, the excitement, and be that child. Allow that child inside to flourish. And I think they both are going to really enjoy the trailer. And I'm so happy that I was able to pass it on to such a loving, friendly couple who are very similar to me, or I should say I'm very similar to them, and that we had this new connection. And we both felt that if we lived closer, we would be close friends. That's how we felt. It was very special. And for something that I could have easily said, this is a disaster. I came all the way to Virginia, and the fella stood me up. And just to have her in line and connect and meet us in Virginia, and I was able to spend the time with my brother, it was just a perfect experience. I couldn't ask for more than that, so I'm very grateful. I went with the flow, and I'm confident that if I continue to go through life this way, not get frustrated, not try to control my environment, control others, or try to convince others to be a certain way or do certain things, that's not the way to go through life. Go with the flow. that's all I have to say today. And I would love to hear any comments that you may have, any experiences that you've had in your life. And are you trying to work on that concept of going with the flow? Because you never know where you're going to go when you go merrily down the stream. Row, row, row your boat merrily down the stream. Life is similar to a dream, a good dream so far, and I hope it is for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. I would like to stay connected to like-minded people like you and me. I think life is just much better to be connected with individuals that go with the flow, because you never know when we're going to meet, and when we do, I think we'll know each other more than we thought. All right, a little out there, but that's all I have to say today, and I wish you well. Thank you.